For the flight attendants, we heard what took place from the air traffic control tower, and we've heard what took place from the cockpit. I wonder if you might tell us, as soon as you discovered that there was a problem, what you did and walk us through it. Whoever would like to lead. Ms. Welch, would you like to go?
Well, like I've said before, we heard a thump, which was the birds, which we didn't know at that time, and it was kind of like hitting something in the air. And then in the back where I was, the smell was pretty strong. And I thought, for some reason, there might have been an electrical fire. That was just my guess at the moment. So I got up and I looked for Sheila. I saw Sheila up front, but our interphones didn't work. So really, in that time span, I thought, well, we probably lost an engine, and we were going to go back and land at LaGuardia, and it would be that. So I got back in my seat, and not long after that, I heard brace for impact. And, well, do you want me to go on with that? Or?
Please.
Okay, well, you know, words you don't want to hear as a flight attendant, but I didn't know. I think Jeff said it was 3 minutes. I've always wanted to know from start to finish. It was, because at some moments it seemed long, and at some moments it seemed like a snap. But it seemed, after the brace for impact, it seemed quick to me that we did hit, which I assumed we were on the ground for some reason. I thought we attempted to go back to LaGuardia. I mean, I just thought this in my head. I don't know why. And we were on the runway and didn't make it. And so after getting out of my seat and going to the, because my doors are behind me, after going to the door and looking out and seeing water, whoa, like I said, it was the biggest shock ever. So I gave it 1 second thought. Can I get one, because we landed in the back, but we still weren't down like we saw the plane. I thought, do I have 1 second to get a raft out of here? And that water was rising. I thought, no. And as I turned around, passenger shoved by me and just started grabbing everything on the door and cracked the door. So it's when the water started coming in rapidly. And I went back to try to close it, and then it was coming in just, I don't know the time, but it was just rising like crazy. I went back again with both hands and tried to close it, but it just wasn't going to happen. And turned around and saw there were so many people. I assumed for some reason, like I said before, that the whole plane was even. So I thought we were all going to be under that water. It's just how I thought. And then at the last minute, I just got this burst and started, people were in shock like I was, or had accepted that this was pretty much it, because the water was just about there. And I just went crazy and started ordering people to go to the wings and having them climb. We never would have all made it down that aisle. So I started having people, those who were able to climb over the seats. I said, just make your goal, get to the wings. It's our only hope, get to the wings. We have seconds. So the few people that were in front of me, looking back, they had to be in shock. Like I was for a second there with that water, and then I screamed and snapped them out of it and got up to the wings. And like I said before, I thought, might make it. So after everybody there, it might have been one or two people that followed me. I saw Sheila and went up to the 1R door and went out on the raft, and that's when I realized I was injured, because I didn't know until then.
And can describe for the members of the committee your injury, what happened to you?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, I didn't realize until I got to the front door that I felt the pain and everything. I obviously walked into something, or I had heard that something had come up from the floor, but my guess is that I did it after under that ice water, because I wouldn't have felt it. So I have no idea I couldn't even begin to guess what I did it on. It's like an angle iron, it's like an L shape, so I can't even imagine.
If I can ask the same question of you, Ms. Dail.
When we were sitting in our jump seats and heard the thump, Donna and I had just a moment to whisper. I whispered to her, what was that? And she said, I think it was a bird strike. I'd never experienced such a bird strike, so. But the few moments between then, it was eerily quiet. I smelled the smell. There was a little bit of smoke when I looked down the aisleway. But actually, we just sat there waiting. We knew the guys were busy up front. At some point, they would tell us what to do. And when we heard the command, brace for impact, air training just kicked in, and we began our commands. And then when we hit the water, we just followed through with what we yearly. We have a yearly recurrent training. And I was due for mine the following week and had my workbook filled out. So I looked over the information, and Donna had recurrent in the next week after me. But the training, I will have to say, the recurrent training that I've gone through for 28 years prepared me to do what I did.
Ms. Dent?
We did have a very different experience up front. It was much calmer, I think, and very civilized when we realized that when we heard the brace for impact, as Sheila said, we began our commands, and when we heard the evacuation command, we started yelling our evacuation commands, but at that point we didn't know we were in water. So when I assessed, I looked out my window and saw that there was movement. I thought we were still on land, and I thought we were moving, so I yelled for Sheila to wait, not to open her door yet. And then I yelled, "We're in water," and opened my door, inflated my slide, and just started evacuating the passengers.
We thank you, and I'll have other questions, and I'm sure other committee members will as well.